Pores seem to be public enemy number one, and so I thought we should jump on and run you through the best ways to fight them and talk you through a routine I like to follow in case it helps. Now, I'm studying to be an advanced facialist, but this video is based on the research I've done and what works for me. A man in his 30s who has Fitzpatrick 3 combination skin with slight sensitivity. As we all probably know, pores are little crevices or moonlight craters that appear on the skin. They seem to be most common on the nose, but they can be found anywhere on the face. And sometimes, if you're really lucky, you get a little hair growing out of them. Now, you can't actually remove pores. They're a permanent part of your skin. You can only make them appear smaller or less noticeable. Collagen helps support the skin around your pores, keeping them looking tighter. But of course, as we age, collagen naturally declines, which can make our pores appear larger. That's why protecting and supporting your collagen is one of the best things you can do for pore appearance. Now, everybody's got pores, but people with oily skin or combination skin, which is a combination of oily parts and then drier parts, will have their pores typically look more noticeable. Now, as cheesy as it sounds, my mentality is to love the skin you're in. And in the words of Liam Gallagher, true perfection has to be imperfect. But if you want to fight the bastards, here's what you should do. Now, I'm going to assume you've got oily or combination skin because, as we just said, that's typically the skin types where they're more pronounced. If you're not sure of your skin type, I made a video up here that you can watch to help you figure it out. So what's the best way for you to actually fight them? Well, before talking you through the routine, we're going to talk through the 3 core pillars: deep cleaning your skin, reducing oil production, and boosting collagen. Now, the best way to deeply cleanse your skin is to see an esthetician or just get a facial. Hydrofacials and deep cleansing facials are probably your best port of call. But obviously, I can't see your skin, so defer to whatever your esthetician suggests. Depending on your skin type and also what's going on and your interest, chemical peels can also help cleanse out some of the pores too. That's not really the subject of this video, it's just something that within their toolkit. Of course, not all facialists are created equal, and especially if you have some more invasive treatments or you decide to as part of this, I would absolutely 100% make sure that you're confident and secure in the person that's doing the work for you. If you're not sure how to do that, Babtac have a find a therapist tool on their website. I'll also link it down below in the description if you want to check it out, which is a brilliant tool to actually help you find people who are well qualified. In the UK at the moment, there's a huge divide and division between people which have gone through the rigorous training and are actually trained to properly administer these tools and treatments, and then people which have just done like a quick weekend course. And then once your skin's been cleansed, you want to maintain those results with a well thought through skincare routine. Now, if going to see a facialist is impractical or too expensive for whatever reason, and look, I completely get that. I've only seen a facialist once, I think maybe twice, because I can't really afford to get them very often. There is absolutely stuff you can do at home which will deliver the results. So the first thing you want to do is pick up a salicylic acid cleanser. The 2 that I recommend and my go-to in this category are the CeraVe SA Smoothing Cleanser, which contains, you guessed it, salicylic acid. Or if you're in the US or in the UK and can stomach the slightly higher shipping fees, then I would say you should go for the Remedy for Cleansing for normal to oily skin, which, among other ingredients, also contains salicylic acid. So both of these bad boys are great and they will help get rid of some of the oil and just make your pores clearer. If you want to take that a step further or level further, you can get one of these Foreo cleaners or cleansers. I think I paid about £140 for this, which might sound expensive, but I think it lasts a really long time. You only charge it once and then it's just always ready and good to go. I find when I use this with a salicylic acid cleanser, it can get a much deeper clean and my pores look great afterwards. So if you are struggling with them and you've tried a salicylic acid, maybe you want to get one of these and stick it in your bag or in your shower. Coming back to these 2 cleansers, the ingredients inside them are fairly similar as far as I can tell from looking at the ingredients. The Remedy one has green tea and the CeraVe one doesn't. They feel slightly different though, however. The CeraVe one feels slightly more aggressive. I think this one, if it gets in your eyes, it hurts a little bit. This one doesn't. But I've got good results from both of them. The Remedy Cleanser contains ceramides, niacinamide, zero point 0.5 salicylic acid, glycerin, and green tea extract. CeraVe, according to the bottle, contains ceramide, salicylic acid, and hyaluronic acid. So you're using a salicylic acid, maybe the Foreo, but you're still maybe not cleaning it or cleansing it as much as you like. What else can you do at home? Well, you can get yourself a clay mask. So clay masks are great at helping to extract and remove some of that oil. Ones I want to call out are Innisfree Super Volcanic Clay Mask, which I think you should be able to see here. This one has given me some really good results. And the other one I want to call out is Kiehl's Rare Earth Pore Minimizing Clay Mask. Out of the two, my preference is the Innisfree one. And I actually used this one whilst I was getting ready to film today because I had some slightly pronounced pores. I recorded myself, so you hopefully can see that now. I've got this Innisfree across my nose, and then I've got a different mask on across the rest of my face. And it did the job. I put the pore mask on, had some pores, took it off, washed it off about 10-15 minutes later, and they were gone. Pore strips can also be an option. I haven't really used them a lot. From the research I've done, and there seems to be some differences of opinion online here. You can use them about once a month if you like to, but if you use them regularly and you pull out, because you're pulling out debris from your skin, you can actually damage the pores and make them look larger. So my understanding is that really you want to use them at most about once a month. But to be honest with you, I find that these products work, so I just stick with them. And of course, when it comes to deeply cleansing your skin, the other thing we've got to talk about are exfoliators. So there's a lot of really good options when it comes to exfoliators. The granddad, the great daddy, the one that you should absolutely have on your radar, if you're over 30, probably using, is a retinoid, retinol, retinal, or tretinoin. I've made a video which is popping up here now, which goes into more detail about that. But definitely retinoids are good. Some ones I want to call out in particular are CeraVe. Again, their resurfacing retinol. I think that's a really great one. The Ordinary's Retinal, that's stronger. This is actually one of the strongest over-the-counter retinols that you can purchase. So just be conscious of that. But I think this is a really good one, affordable and good. Or of course, preferably prescription tretinoin. If you're in the UK, you can pick that up from Dermatica, link down below. But on top of your retinoid, you might also want to consider a glycolic or a lactic acid. In terms of glycolics, you probably have come across or heard of this one from The Ordinary. Personally, I find this too harsh on my face and I don't like it. It's okay for the body. But there is, if I can find it, Medicate's one, which you should be able to see here. That's a great glycolic acid. It's a sleep glycolic. So if you want to go down the glycolic route, that could be good. Or in terms of lactic acid, it is a bit more on the spenny side. But Sunday Riley's Good Genes Lactic Acid, I think is a really great product as well, which can help with pores. So that's cleansing covered. Now we've got to talk about how we actually reduce oil production in the skin. And there's a few different ways that we can do this. So I typically find the treatment steps after I've cleansed, using a specific serum can help here. And a couple that I quite like is niacinamide. So my go-to for niacinamide is The Ordinary. You've got either their 5% body emulsion. It's meant for the body, but the fact it's 5% for me is good. And I like to use that on my face because it's larger, more affordable, and a good product and good results. But you can also they've got a niacinamide 10%. Now, the science and the theory apparently behind this is that you don't actually need anything more potent than a 5% niacinamide serum to get the majority of the results. And going any higher than 5% can increase your chance of irritation, but doesn't give you any extra benefit. And it's really just a marketing technique that they keep having these higher and higher percentages. And the other things that help reduce oil production are things that we've already spoken about. So it's a retinol or retinal or tretinoin, one of your retinoids. And also a glycolic acid, like the glycolic acid from Medicaid, which brings us on to boosting collagen. Now, before we actually boost the collagen within our skin, we want to protect what we've already got. And the best way, bar none, that you should absolutely be doing every single day is applying SPF. Now, if you've got combination or oily skin, the GOAT, my favorite, one that I think is incredible, is the Beauty of Joseon Sun Relief. I always get this wrong. Relief Sun Aqua-Fresh SPF, which you can recognize and see here, and it's got the blue bit at the bottom. This one is incredible. Rubs in smooth, feels in great, and it makes your skin look good after you've applied it, even if you are a little bit on the oily side. So this is a great one. For the size, it's maybe a little bit on the expensive side, and you don't need it. But if you're going to go all out, this is a brilliant one to go for. So yeah, make sure you're applying your SPF. So we're protecting the collagen we've already got. Now we want to boost it. Some of the best ways to do that are, and here they come again, we've already spoken about them twice, the different types of retinol, retinal, tretinoin, and the retinaldehydes. So you absolutely want to use these because they will help boost collagen. Same with glycolic acid as well. That one hits that. So that's a good one to use. And then, of course, we've got in-office procedures. So I know we touched on these earlier when it came to cleansing. In-office procedures can also be great ways of boosting collagen. We're talking microneedling, laser treatments, because what we're doing is causing maybe micro injuries to the skin. But you absolutely need to go to somebody that knows what they're doing. Because if somebody uses the wrong laser or the wrong type of treatment, especially if you've got darker skin tones, it can actually cause hyperpigmentation or scarring and things that you really don't want. So here it is, the moment I think you've all been waiting for, my pore fighting skincare routine. So I'm going to kick things off with the Manyo Pure Cleansing Oil. This I find is great, especially if you power it up with a Foreo, but that's not essential. Apply this and it really helps just to clean out and get rid of all of that. So you start with that. Next up, we have got, and I'm going to go for one of the salicylic acid cleansers. It's a toss-up between these two. I really like them both. I'm going to go with the Remedy one. If it's hard to find or too expensive to ship, go with CeraVe. But yeah, I'm going with the Remedy. So that's my second cleanse, is with the salicylic acid. Then I'm going to move on to my treatment steps, and I'm going to go with the Ordinary's 5% niacinamide. Don't need to go any higher. I thought, should I use the 10, but I'm going to stick with a 5, see how my results are going. If needs be, step up to the 10. And then if it's the morning, I'm going to apply a moisturizer. I'm going to go for the Aestura Atobarrier 365, because I think it's awesome and great. But if not, you could use something like the CeraVe moisturizing cream. So that's that. And then, of course, the final step that you don't forget, applying your SPF. So I'm going to apply some of that and the BTJ Sun one. And I'm good for the morning. Then I come back, end of the day, it's the evening. I'm going to double cleanse again. So I'm going to use the Manyo cleansing oil, start with this one, then move on to the salicylic acid between the two, whatever one you've got. I'm going to apply my niacinamide again. And this time I'm going to apply my Retinal. So my Retinol, Tretinoin. Because I use Tretinoin, I'm going to go with my one from Dermatica. But if you can't get a prescription or you haven't built up to that yet, go with whichever one is the best one for you. Watch the video I mentioned earlier if you're unsure about retinols, I haven't used them before. And then probably about once a week, I'm going to use a glycolic acid, followed by a moisturizer. And I'm going to pick, because it's my favorite, yes, Aestura Atobarrier. If not, the CeraVe moisturizing lotion. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and watch my video on the ultimate guide to Korean skincare here. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.